everyone, I'm Stephen Learson. Welcome to another edition of Synthesizer Show and Tell. On each episode, I challenge myself to write one piece of music using only one instrument from my collection and share some tips and tricks on how to use it. I'd like to take a quick moment to thank my sponsor. Today's episode of Synthesizer Show and Tell is sponsored by Mom and Dad. That's right. For years, Mom and Dad have been providing their artist and musician kids with unconditional love and support. And to be serious, my parents got me a really cool gift for Christmas. Behold the Volca sample. Now, I'm positive my parents have no clue what this is or what it does, but we're going to try and shed some light on that for them and for anyone else who might stumble upon this video. Here we go. The Volca sample is the fourth instrument to come out of the Korg Volca series. What is the Volca series? Well, I guess it's just a series of rectangular boxes that Korg keeps making. They're reproducing like bunnies, and each rectangular box does something wacky. Over the years, I've amassed a huge sample library of drum sounds, but I just wanted something that I could hit. That I could physically bash with my fingers, because just programming in drum samples like kicks and snares on a grid can just be lame. Some features to note: the Volca sample can store 100 samples, save up to 16 sequences. You can store 4 megabytes or up to 65 seconds of samples. There are 8 samples per sequence, a 16-step sequencer. It has reverb, swing, step mode, and live record mode. And your tempo goes from 56 to 240, and of course it will sync with your other Volca rectangular boxes. Some of you might know I have a dog. His name is Bartok. He's a lab mix that we rescued. He's about 4 years old, and his best friend in the world is my sister's dog. Her name is Charlie Girl, and when they get together, they make some crazy sounds that are ripe for sampling. When I started making this video, the only software that I could find to work with the Volca was a third-party software called Vocier. Who knows how you pronounce that? But it is very easy to use. You just drop your samples in. There's 100 slots, and then you can play them back right away, and you can load them on. Now, the problem comes when you try to actually load them onto the Volca. I found out there's 2 important things. 1, your batteries have to be fully charged. Number 2, you have to send the sample at the perfect volume, or else the Volca will just say, no, I'm not doing it. So in this video, I'm going to attempt to use the Volca sample to make beats out of dog barks, whines, grunts, and harumphs. Let's see if we can do it. All right, so I'm starting out with my samples. I have this kind of low breathy dog sound. And I'm going to just tighten it up. I'm going to cut a little of the highs. I'm going to cut a little of the decay. Let's maybe make it a little deeper and a little shorter. Ooh, there we go. I like that right there. Let's start with that. All right, so next I'm going to try and make a snare drum out of a dog bark. So here's the bark I picked. All right, so it's already pretty attacky dog bark. Let's make it a little lower. Maybe a shorter length. I like that. All right, so next, to make a hi-hat or some kind of hi-hat kind of sound, I'm going to use a dog breath. So I have this one. All right, but it's a little too long, so I'm going to cut down the length a little. Yeah. So then to make some toms, I need a dog bark with some pitch. So I've recorded my dog going. So I think I can turn this into a tom. Let's see if I can do it. So. I found this kind of really whiny noise. and I sampled it. So we're going to just kind of see if we can incorporate this into our beat in a musical way. So I also have this sample that I took where my dog is kind of humming a little, like and that little at the end. I want to grab that. So I'm going to see if I can just cut down the sample. Now I'm going to incorporate the motion sequence. So I just hit record. Now let's do the EG. That's kind of cool. Now let's try the speed. And let's do some panning. And now when we put everything back in, we've got a pretty weird beat going on here. That feels cool. Feels groovy right there. For Christmas, I got some really cool gifts from my sister, and they're a bunch of noisemakers, so I thought I'd just try and give them a sample and see what we can make out of that. So I've got all the samples of the noisemakers. Now let's see if we can make a beat out of them. I've got the famous egg shaker, and I turned that into a kick drum. So we just got our kick drum programmed in there. Then I took another shaker and I turned that into a snare drum. Then I took our shaker, I gave it a shake. Next, I got my go-go bells. All right, and finally, I've got this gadget, which is something right out of a Bugs Bunny cartoon. And I was able to do some interesting things with it by using loop and reverse. Because it gets all these kind of ringing tones. So I was able to get these kind of clangorous gong kind of sounds. And finally, I made kind of like a laser beam kind of thing out of the tambourine. So all of it together. Makes for kind of a cool Talking Heads kind of soup. Pretty cool. I like it. Bring on the noisemakers. So does the Volca sample deliver? I'd say for my purposes, it does. I was looking for something that I could have a better connection with the samples that I have on my computer that I use to make drum tracks, and this definitely allows me to have a visceral connection and where I can just bash out drum beats, and it's much more inspiring to do it this way. If you're the type of person who wants to make samples by taking a field recorder into the woods or into the city to record sounds from nature or from the world, I'm not sure if this is the right fit for you because you still have to take those things you recorded back to your computer, edit them down into small samples, load them onto the Volca sample, and then once you make your beats, you have to record them again on your computer. If I ever wanted to make sounds that way, I'm not sure if I would use this for that application. But it is only $100, and if you want to just take some strange sounds and throw them together and see how they sound together, this can be a great avenue where you can kind of surprise yourself. So that's it for the show today. Thanks for watching. Please let me know what you think in the comments, hit subscribe, and tell me what synth you'd like me to do next. All right, here's some more Volca sample. I'll see you next time.